meeting to order. Would you do a roll call, please?
Matt Elliott,
Present.
Jon Draper,
Present.
Tal Rancourt, Pam Brewer, Jack Comley,
Present.
Okay, thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes and the agenda.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Been moved and seconded. Would you poll the board, please?
I'm sorry, who called it first?
Jon Draper.
Jon Draper. Pam Brewer, second.
Jon Draper,
Yes.
Pam Brewer. Yes. Matt Elliott,
Yes.
Tal Rancourt, Jack Comley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. All right. Presentations from citizens on the agenda. Looks like it's next. No citizens. So, ordinance rate increase. That'd be our next item. Who's talking about that?
On the ordinance rate increase, we have the ordinances presented here. I'm going to try to find it. I apologize. Mr. Harris has the ordinance prepared. However, do you want to speak on that or not, Mr. Harris? We only want to address the rate increase and nothing else on that ordinance, so we would strike that out and only do just the rates themselves. The rest would come forward at the November meeting when Mr. Burt Warner will be back, the utility director, so that he can be a part of that conversation.
If you would go to page 15 of your ordinance, I can walk you through the rate elements of that rather quickly. At the very bottom of 15, you will see Section 3, Town Code 135-203 is repealed. On the next page, it shows the repeal of that entire section 203, residential water rates within the town. Then the next section adopts 203A. That is, I'm not going to say a mirror of 203, but it's pretty darn close, and it is based upon the rural water report. Differences primarily are, if you'll notice, the table at the bottom in 203A, 0 to 5,999. And if you go to the previous page, it's 1,000 to 5,000. So we corrected a few little snips like that. This page 203A has the following rates increase annually the water rates within the town. And yes, sir.
What page number are you on?
I'm on 17.
Still on 17.
It's 203A. 203A starts with, for example, paragraph 1, a monthly base charge. That's whether you use a drop of water or not. Is it not on, as I advertised, page, it's my page 17.
Yeah, we got it. Thank you.
Up at the top, you see sub 1, monthly base facility charge. That's what it costs to have service, whether you use a drop of water or not. And if you'll notice under A, that's the service for 5/8 or 3/4. I'm told those are interchangeable in our system, always have been. So we followed that, didn't change a thing there. So basically up to 3/4 inch tap, it's $18.50 effective October 2025. Then it goes to $19.97 a year later, 26. Then to $21.57 a year later, all the way out, 4 or 5 years. The intention is to get a rate study 3 years out and make sure this is tracking as it should. We can, if you like, put in a requirement for a rate study. I generally try not to bind my government on things like that. You certainly have the opportunity to do a rate study with or without a requirement for one in your code. Sometimes you might want to put in a requirement for a rate study as a reminder. Folks don't always come back and read the code, so the reminders don't always get caught, but I'll do it however you folks want it done in that sense. Paragraph B goes from a 3/4 inch to a 1 inch with a similar graduated scale. Paragraph C is 1.5 inches, a similar graduated scale through 29. Then a 2 inch, then a 3 inch. Then paragraph 2 is the monthly water rate. Now you can compare these new rates to the old rates simply by turning the page back. You can see what we have been. So if you'll go to the next page, number 18, you'll see the rate. Now that is the use rate. And it graduates up as the amount increases. We increase over time, I should say.
And usage.
Note gives you an example of the calculation of a rate. We've had that in the last ordinance. We updated it to the new rates so folks can see, because it can, the novice picking this book up and reading it, it can be rather confusing, so I thought it appropriate to include an example. Then you go into the next section 5 at the bottom of 18, it repeals section 204. That's your commercial rate inside, the first one residential, this is commercial, both inside the town. Then 204A, on the next page, number 20, section 6, replaces 204. Again, we start out with the smaller tap. This is the base charge under number 1. 1A is for 5/8 or 3/4 inch. It stages an automatic rate increase out the next 5 years. The 1 inch is B, C is 1.5 inches, etc., just like the residential rates. We have historically charged a lot more money for the larger taps, simply because we have to have that water standing by available, be it fire or any other demand. So somebody can't just come and say, I want a big water line, and not pay that demand charge. Page 21, it goes from the base charge into the monthly gallonage charge. I seem reluctant to read those to you, but if you like, we'll talk about any one of them. .205 water system charges, unchanged. Including fire hydrants, non-payment for reconnects. You'll need to leap over to about page 33. We repeal the sewer rates, just as we did the water rates. So section 302 is repealed. You can see the old rates. Then we add 302A in its place instead. That begins at the bottom of 34. continues on page 35. As you recall, sewer is based upon the diameter of your water tap. So you have a base sewer charge, whether you flush once or not. Then if you'll go down toward the bottom of page 35, you'll see a monthly water user charge, and that is based upon the water use as to how much you pay in sewer. Continues on the next page. And that was residential. If you'll go to page 36, slow me down now if I'm going too fast. Yes, sir.
I have a question. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know whether you'll be able to answer it or not. If people are using water, let's say they have a new pool built or something like that, does that get not charged to their wastewater if they get a letter from the pool builder that, it's a...
We have a separate provision in our code for irrigation water
Right.
that is not charged to the sewer bill. If you have a separate meter for irrigation only. I've never heard it applied to the swimming pool, but I see no reason it couldn't. That's y'all's decision.
Okay. I was just wondering, because where I lived before, they had you had 2 meters, one for water, domestic water, and one for irrigation, right? But you filled your pool with the domestic water one, but then when you could get a letter from the pool builder, or if you had your pool resurfaced, and it said it's a 13,000 gallon pool, so they would subtract 13,000 gallons from your
And give credit towards
20,000
it.
gallons that you actually used that month or what, and you wouldn't pay the sewerage portion of it.
We don't have any provision
have
that would allow a letter of justification to subtract from the sewer bill, but you could certainly amend your code and say they can do irrigation or pool if you so choose.
Can you make exceptions if you've got a 6-inch water main because of fire concerns and you don't have near that much usage? Because you said the sewage was based on the diameter of the...
Of your meter,
Pardon me?
your meter.
Yeah. But
I
you
don't recall, without looking, whether a fire meter is billed separately from sewer or not. Fair question.
Is Leanne? I was going to say, if you have any of the answers to this, chime in at any time, please.
I'm sorry, what?
Leanne is in the back, Mr. Draper, and she is also our utilities coordinator. She wears multiple hats, so she can help fill in some of these questions, I believe, in the absence of Mr. Warner.
Thank you.
So regards to the swimming pool, we have had requests in the past. Normally we have a technician that goes out before they fill the pool and then come and take a reading after the pool, and then they make a credit for that. We've had that several times.
Credit for the wastewater portion.
Correct.
I don't think our code allows for a letter correction, but that's their decision. If you'll go to page 27, you'll see the fire question addressed, and that is town utility customers may obtain their fire suppression systems under a separate meter.
Okay,
So that's what you're looking for. Yes, we do that.
thank you.
So we were at commercial sewer in town, 303 repealed. And then we have 303A on page 37, adopted in its place. .304 is my note. We'll bring that back next time. Ignore it today. Section 10 on page 41 My concern here is if for some reason our new rate is declared invalid, I don't want to be without a rate. So this, rather than, normally you see a statute or a law or a code saying this is severable. If you strike one down, the rest remains. I've done exactly the opposite here. If in this code a section is stricken, the entire thing falls and our new rate is revived, old rate is revived. Technical, legal, I'd say don't worry about it, but that's my attempt to protect the town from having a zero rate. This ordinance would take effect upon adoption. The 20th of October, assuming the town council hears and approves.
And what's the perceived increase in revenue for October 20th, 25 through
I'm going to
2026?
defer that to someone else
Okay.
that read the report for net increase. I didn't, it's in the report.
Okay.
Florida Rural Water Report, they showed you how much per month would increase. I don't remember the number.
Okay.
I want to say 30-ish thousand.
Okay.
Charlotte, do you remember?
I don't. And I apologize, I don't.
So we have $470,000 to go on that $500,000 deficit.
Yes, we still are going to have, when we looked at it with Florida Rural Water, it's going to take us probably a rough 3 to 5 years, and that's, and Councilwoman Eberhardt, I don't chime in at any time because I know you've looked at it extensively as well, but right now it's about 3 to 5 years is what we're looking at.
Okay.
And that's the reason why Mr. Harris said if we can go ahead and build it in now for the rate increases over the course of 3 years and then revisit it again. We will even have Florida Rural Water look at it next year and come back so that you can see a snapshot view of it as well, so that we can see the comparison. And then if we need to make any adjustments for what the projections look like, then we can do so at that time, but it's already built in now. Leanne, you don't happen to remember off the top of your head, do you? I was going to say, we've had so many going back and forth with looking at the rates and how to help us break even.
I want to do it immediately, as soon as they approve it.
For the first year.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to ask.
You know, I mean, they're saying 22%.
Okay, are we looking for a motion from this board to approve or recommend to the council, or is that even necessary at this point?
Here, they're looking at 8%.
Yes, okay.
Whatever they need, if they need 50% again.
So I'll entertain a motion to recommend this on to council so they can get it on their agenda and get it voted on, get it implemented as soon as possible.
I'll make a motion that we accept this recommendation.
It's been moved we accept the ordinance with the changes he needs to make. Okay? Second? Seconded. Tal? Would you poll the board, please? Oh, discussion, I'm sorry.
Pam Pinterest, 12373 Lost Lake Drive. So I apologize, I was a couple minutes late, but on page 8, I think it's number 19, in there, and you may have addressed this, Mr. Harris, wastewater treatment plant completion, and it says to 2025, so it wouldn't actually be completed.
Pam, that was withdrawn.
I apologize, I wasn't here. I'm going off the packet that's online, I printed out. And then number 2, at number 17, it says striking reserved language, the 50% abatement by the utility director. That language was stricken.
Withdrawn.
Don't be late 3 minutes, because you miss a lot of stuff apparently.
Ma'am, all we did was the rates.
Okay, I apologize, I was late, but these are, anyway. I understand you're only doing the rates apparently, but have y'all, before you vote on this, have you discussed, like, is there mandatory hookup? I would like to know, as just a greater Lake Placid area, a lot of people call me because they know I go to the meetings, but there's stuff happening on Lake Mirror Drive or Lake Drive East. They want to know what's the timeline, how much it's going to cost. So have y'all done like just a single, let's do single family home in the town limits, 1,500 square foot. That person is going to hook up for sewer and then water. What's the hookup fee? Is there a development charge, other cost? So before you do these things, shouldn't you have a ballpark? It's going to be 10,000 or it's free? I'm asking, and then the same would go for the water, central water hookup, to know what the hookup fee is, development fee if there's one, and other costs. And then the final thing, a timeline in areas that will be expected to abide by this new ordinance. It's great to pass something, but, and I understand it depends on grants. I understand it depends on this and different things, because y'all have gone up and down in the different areas, or if people are paying for it or not. But is there any idea, like in a year from now, don't build your house or put in an advanced system tank because we're going to be knocking on your door. So then it makes a difference to different people trying to build new homes in and around Lake Placid, because they have to abide by the Lake Placid Regional Plan if they have a PD on their property. So, and I apologize if y'all went over these things while I wasn't here, but is that information provided anywhere? Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'm sort of new at these kind of things. What happens if this doesn't pass?
If it didn't pass, the rates would stay the same. I mean, well, the council has already reviewed, and you had the opportunity to make the recommendation. This is coming back for you to be able to look at it, and if you'd like to make a recommendation still for council, we can take that back to them at the next meeting that'll be held on Monday and let them know. But it did go forward at our last council meeting because we had to finish our budget and make sure that the rates were accounted for in the budget.
Thank you. I missed a few meetings.
It's okay.
Although we only approved the rate for the first year, we
Correct.
did not approve all these subsequent rates, correct?
Correct.
Any other discussion on the motion?
Councilwoman, if I may, the rural water looked at our budget over time and recommended the graduated increase, and staff, I think, is in lockstep on that. I appreciate the point of really there's only been 1 year vetted. Certainly, the rate study needs to be in the packet to council. I assume this board had that rate study to support this document. And again, the intent from staff is do this, set the 5-year trajectory, but let's truth tell along the way and make sure it's enough, not too much, but just right.
I agree. I'm just making the fine point that the town council only approved the 1 year, not the whole schedule. It's just putting a fine point on it. No argument.
Fair enough.
I know the study.
Thank you.
Good result, right? A decrease.
Any other discussion on this motion?
that you're charging very much for setting the meters. You have $500 for a 3/4 inch meter to set a meter inside the town.
What page are you
Pam,
on?
what page are you on?
21.
Page 22.
Pam, if I may, Mr. Chairman, what the board may consider is directing staff to look at these charges and bring back some science. I'm reluctant to just pick numbers.
I just know that $500 is very going to pay for the meter, so,
That hasn't been changed in some time.
yes. And
We can put that in next month's changes, absolutely.
But is there a development, a system development fee separate from the meter set?
not for the meter, but for the wastewater. Oh, yeah, there is for the
Sorry, Tal, what were you
1800.
bringing up?
$1,800 for a system development charge.
So for the sewer part, there's not a set, but there will be coming forward because of the new grinder stations. Because there's a cost to the grinder, there's a cost to the connection hub box. So there will be steps moving forward to put those costs. I agree with you that the meter sets are very low. It has been something that I have also discussed with Bert, and it is on his radar to look into that and readjust according to Ferguson's prices for the new meters we're installing. Oh, and to your other question about the system development charges, system development charger is separate from the meter set.
So it's a combined fee. Is the meter set is just the physical labor of setting it, not off the meter. The meter is in the system development fee.
No. So, for instance, we've had one building had paid their system development charge along with their meter set eons ago. They want a second connection to make the house a duplex situation. So the resident has a second meter. So they do the meter set only. They wouldn't have a additional system development charge because they've already paid for the whole house to have that development charge done. It's a very rare occasion that the two aren't together, but it does happen. But when we quote out for a new customer, it's normally deposit, connection fee, system development charge, and meter set. That is correct. It is low. I agree.
And so is the grinder? Is that what I heard?
So the grinder cost will be, like, we've had a couple contractors already hook up to current line that's already in the ground, but we have said that they have to put in the E1 system. So going forward, there will be a fee for the grinder and a fee for all of the parts. So there will essentially be a set fee for the grinder.
Commissioner? You're opening a box that will be rather complex,
Yes.
Yeah.
that we intend to bring next month. Lots of discussion on that.
Yeah, my understanding was it wasn't gonna cost the members anything, or the customers, as far as the grinder system.
I
Is
don't
that just
really
for
want to
existing?
comment because it's beyond my purview to say what will or won't cost. But there's several elements of cost. Let's go into it next month, if you will. All fair questions. And if you want to put questions on the table that staff should look at, absolutely, now would be a great time.
Yeah, I'd like to know that.
Grinder being one, loud and clear.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, will you poll the board? You need me to reread the motion, or we're good?
There's no motion.
Hmm?
There's no motion.
Yep, there's a motion on the floor.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, Pam moved the motion to accept the ordinance with council's changes, and you seconded it. Oh, I'm sorry, Tal seconded it, I'm sorry. You seconded the other, I'm sorry. So poll the board, please.
Pam Brewer,
Yes.
Tal Rancourt, Matt Elliott,
Yes.
Jon Draper,
Yes.
Jack Conley,
No.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I heard you say with Tal's changes.
With council's, your changes.
Thank you.
Council, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm getting
The red part and stuff you said you needed to fix, and then,
Thank you. Deficit.
yes,
It's hard to hear in
councils.
here.
Sorry. So would we like to add anything to that? Now we got that motion disposed of. Do we want to go back and recommend a increase on the meter installation or any of that stuff?
Well, I believe they need to look at the meter cost and the system development charge for the water as well.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Is there a second to our motion that recommend that the town visit the installation of meter charges? And Tal seconds that. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would you poll the board, please?
Pam Brewer,
Yes.
Tal Rancourt, Matt Elliott,
Yes.
Jon Draper,
Yes.
Jack Conley,
Yes.
Motion carries. Any other talk on that? Okay. All right, Lake Placid Camp and Conference Center, Waterline Extension, and SRF agreement.
This is Mr. Harris. Again, Mr. Harris is on deck.
Howdy. Your agenda package should have a series of agreements and documents before you to move forward on the SRF, State Revolving Fund. That's a loan fund out of DEP at a very, very low interest rate. And it brings to us a forgiveness of debt. The numbers are in your document. I want to say it's around 2.7 million initial loan, and it's about a 2.1, I think, forgiveness. I didn't bring a set of the documents, but they should be in your package. This is the most cost-effective way for the town ever, under any circumstances, to extend a water line because it is zero cost to the town. Period. Full stop. In this case, it's going to the conference center. That helps us a couple of ways. One, it provides a method to bill sewer. Remember, our sewer rate is tied to our water rate. Until we have that there, we have to bill on flat fee based upon what we think the flow is, or a flow meter in the sewer line. That to me is witchcraft, but I'll leave it right there. The conference center wants water, so they have agreed to underwrite the project. They're paying for the cost of legal, engineering, design, engineering, construction, bidding, everything. They then take the risk of how much is forgiven, if you will, by the state. If it's a $2.7 million loan to pay back, they pay it back. Now, to be clear, it is our debt. They cannot borrow from the state. Only we, a municipality, can borrow from the state. So we make the loan. They, in turn, guarantee the loan to the town. So we've insisted on collateral. This is not a handshake deal. Our little town could not afford a $2.7 million loss if somebody's business goes upside down. Not that they would, but this has to be, in my opinion, a zero risk to Lake Placid. Therefore, the documents to be approved would be first, the loan application. So would want you to recommend approval of the loan application by the town to DEP. The next document is the bulk sale agreement. That deals with a bulk sale of water. That's a fairy tale term made up. We're charging them for every bit of water. We're charging them for the tap. We charge them the in-town rate, because that's the deal the town council made when we started with the Camping Conference Center years ago to get this line in place. And because we're not having to pay for the line. If we had to pay for any of the infrastructure, it would have been a totally different story. This is like Tomoka Heights. Town didn't pay for any of the infrastructure for that system. Therefore, they got the in-town rate. So the bulk sale agreement basically amortizes the debt on top of our regular water income. We got to run a water system regardless. So we get a normal fee for running the water system every month. They have to pay it. We also then get a lump sum every month or every 6 months. I forget the number. No, DEP will tell us when they approve the loan. As to how much we pay DEP, Conference Center pays us. So it's a net wash. And that, of course, is plus design, engineering, legal, management, because our staff has to do a lot of work to manage construction. We're closing, and that's the same structure we used for the sewer line going out there. Now, the consultant we thought was dead for 3 months. And that was a bad thing because that put a lot back on the town of administration. We're building the conference center for that, is my understanding. So again, the town comes out whole at the end of the day. In the bulk sale agreement, you'll notice 2 things. One, the amount to be paid every term to amortize the debt. You'll notice it gets trued up based upon the forgiveness of principal. If the debt starts out at $2.7 million and gets reduced to $800,000, that's a gift to the conference center, basically. And that's the reason we put all the expenses on the conference center. They're the one that benefits from us getting this loan that gets them water, and so they can go forward. So there's a reason for them that they save $2 million if this thing works. If it doesn't, it's their problem, not ours. So they pay the monthly payment. You will also see an option in there for different types of additional collateral. The last time they posted an irrevocable letter of credit. They found out that that would be rather expensive, or was, because they've got to fully collateralize that with the bank. I mean, it ended up being a circular, more expensive thing than they anticipated, I understand. We have discussed a deposit. I've taken the position if you do a deposit, it's going to be the name of my town, period, full stop. Not going to chase it through bankruptcy. It's not going to be over there somewhere. They didn't like that. They've offered a mortgage. Not enough equity. Didn't like that. So we're still discussing what the collateral will be to secure the debt. So that's your bulk sale agreement. That's like the note and mortgage, and I've put in a legal description so it would encumber their property. if they're getting the benefit of this to the conference center. Some of those will probably have to come back to you. I'd ask that you approve them in form today, so they will know we're ready to go forward. The loan application, the bulk service, what was the other document we had in there?
Yeah.
Oh, the proposed resolution from the town would pledge the bulk sale agreement, bulk service, bulk water agreement. Now, you've heard bulk, you've got a bulk sewer agreement that does the same thing in the sewer line. This is the water, and it's not your monthly revenue. You still get that unencumbered. You're only pledging this income stream. So I'd say let's recommend that as well, if you would. Is there anything else in that package? I think that's it, guys, ladies. Yes, sir.
Do they have something that's worth that much collateral? I mean, is there property or whatever
They offered an unencumbered church that's on the property appraiser at $2.2 million. And that's when the debt was $2.1 million. But to me, that's still too close. Yeah. Now, DEP has agreed to lend more and forgive more, so our numbers have changed. The Camp and Conference Center itself, to me, is worth a significant number. I've not looked at the property appraiser. I don't have an appraisal. And I don't have a title search. But we're not going to be behind a mortgage. Not on my watch, at least. You're talking to somebody that will not let this town take risk. Not on that.
I knew that.
And that needs to be on top of the table, and you guys approve it. I mean, I'll come back and explain every bit of it. And when we finally know the collateral, if it's land, we'll talk about appraisals, and we'll talk about title search, and we'll talk about a head of debt and all of those things. Otherwise, money in the bank or CD or something like that.
CD works.
And does anything in this preclude us from getting a grant to do the same thing, or other things that might include it, where the town may be able to double dip?
You can only have so many of these outstanding at once.
Okay.
Charlotte, do you remember the rule on that one?
I'm gonna,
Is it two?
I think.
No, we can have several outstanding.
Yeah, we can
This is
have
SRF.
3. I was gonna say, that's what I thought. I was looking
Is
for
it
my
limited to
finance.
3 with SRF?
3.
Yeah, because we financed the original sewer plant with that 20 years ago. It's about to be paid off
Right, we have one.
this year.
Yeah.
This year or next?
Yeah, we just,
No, that's FERDAP I'm confusing with. I don't know that there's a limit on SRF at all, so long as we justify it.
right. You're thinking of first.
My apologies. No.
Okay. So if a grant comes along to put a 12-inch main to Venus, they can't say that, well, the first 2 miles has already been paid for by this. We can still get the money for that, I guess is what I'm saying. Overlap it. So the conference is paying it back, plus we're getting the money too. See what I'm saying?
Mr. Elliott, I
Yes.
think you're asking, are we able to still apply even if we do this for them? That we want to make sure that.
Can we go get funding for it
Yes,
also?
we can. We can apply still. Yes, sir.
Okay. To pay for it, even if they're paying for it, right?
Not the same line.
Not the same project.
That's the question, okay.
We can
Gotcha.
apply for other projects.
Okay.
What is the length of the loan, or
We
proposed
won't
length?
know until FDE approves it.
Okay. Any ideas of what you're, I mean, you have to ask them for something, don't you?
No more than 20 years.
Okay.
So if you wanted a motion.
So they're looking for a motion to approve the loan application, plus the bulk water sale agreement. Correct?
And recommend the resolution.
And the resolution, yes.
I make a motion to approve the,
To approve that,
yes.
okay? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Discussion? Good. Okay, seeing none, will you poll the board, please?
Jack Conley,
Yes.
Tal Rancourt,
Let me stop the vote a moment.
Okay?
I neglected to call out there is one thing in this that I need you to be aware of. I apologize, Mr. Chairman. And that is it includes a pioneering agreement to allow for recovery of other developments, not individual homes, that tap into this line. That has not been fleshed out. They want to say, oh, we'll get to it later. No, we're going to be very precise on that. That too is something that will come back. I apologize for the interruption. I didn't want you to run past that.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Understand that. Pioneering meaning recouping the cost of development of law.
Yes. Let's say of the $2.7 million project, they end up paying back $800,000, and then there's $100,000 in cost. It costs them $900,000 to put that line in. Let's say somebody builds it goes by John Smoke's house. He can hook up, no charge, no pioneering, no nothing. So could Pam. But if somebody puts a development there, then they're going to want to talk about recouping some of their cost. And we're limiting the time frame, I want to say 5 years from completion. If somebody doesn't build within that 5-year period, it doesn't matter. My objective is to have it a per home, not, gee, we're putting a development online because we don't know when houses will be sold. Pam would still be trying to collect if it was Placid Lakes. But a per house amount that's got to have some science based on their cost. And we ain't going to discuss that in the future. That's got to be agreed by this board, I might add, before they go forward. Does that make sense? Kind of, or not?
So,
Sounds like it'd be prohibitive.
Now let's back up. If this board disagrees with that, now is the time to say, no, don't put a pioneering agreement in it.
the camp and conference center would be able to recover part of their cost, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're the only ones, we're not paying for this.
Right.
Only they would.
Yeah.
It's not common to have pioneering. It's not common to have pioneering in the agreement, correct?
Actually, a lot of folks do pioneering agreements, and developers love them, obviously. Well, depending on who's they're pioneering. They love to get some of their money back. Others don't want to pay. Just depends on whose goat's getting stuck first. Sebring has done them.
Could the development run their own line? And-
Sure.
And not hooked in? Say, hey, I'm not going to pay for yours,
You
I'm going to do
bet.
my own? Okay, all right.
But in this particular case, that would be based on what out-of-pocket costs they had, not on the entire loan.
Correct.
So,
You bet.
That's right.
They ain't going to be making money on it. And to be clear, I want that to come back to this board and the public. You want me to look at that?
Okay. Would you re-poll the board, please?
Jack Conley,
Yes.
Tal Rancourt. Yes. Matt Elliott,
Yes.
Jon Draper.
Yes.
I'm sorry, was that a no?
He was a yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Didn't hear
Pam Brewer,
Motion carries. Thank you. All right. You doing utility director report?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to read from it, Mr. Elliott.
You can
And if I
what?
could-
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. You should come to more often. We get a lot more done, seems like.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Oh, where did he go?
Yep. Council, please take your toys with you.
He's just,
Emotional support
the clowns
balloons.
saw him and said, here, take this with you. So they gave him a sword. That's what one of them is. He thought he had to come in here and on guard with you.
Gotcha.
He was going to duel. He's still not listening.
Mr. Harris, your swords, don't forget those.
He was armed.
He was doing business.
Open carry.
He even got a smile on his. I'm just glad we can laugh. We have an announcement that it was originally yesterday, we announced it on October 27th. We were going to have a joint workshop between the council, also with the local planning agency and regional utility. However, we have been having meetings with Central Florida Regional Planning, and since our meeting yesterday, they asked if we could have on the 27th another community workshop to be able to bring all of the residents together on that day. Anybody from the public who wants to come and have, it just would be another public workshop leading up to the joint workshop between all of the boards together. The reason we wanted to do that was in our discussions with Central Florida Regional Planning, we've talked about the upcoming comprehensive plan review that we have. We also have talked about the many changes that we have had within the town and what our codes, the things that you battle with being able to make decisions in your board, that also with the planning agency has their trouble, and then how it ends up with council, and then we have still some issues that we would like to be able to put everybody all in the same room, so you'll be here together, all three boards, where you can have it sunshined, it'll be public noticed, you can come all together and have your dialogue back and forth and discuss the different things, all of it. I'd say bring all of your questions, everything that you need to discuss, where you can all be in that same room together and have the dialogue back and forth. You'll also have the professionals here, Central Florida Regional Planning, who has participated on everything for Lake Placid ever since we began this process. So they will facilitate that so that it removes the town staff out of that, where we can participate more with you, have the dialogue, and then let's strategize and come up with what this is going to look like for us. I think we all would like to decide what that's going to look like and try to get ahead of it, but we are 20, 40, 50 years we have time to catch up on, so I don't think we're going to solve it all at one meeting. I can't even say over the next 3 to 5 years that we'll get it all worked out, but I think that if we're able to start this process now, it will really be able to gauge us for the future. So just go ahead, and if you'll look at your calendars and see what the 27th may look like for you. Again, this is fresh off the press. I have to still inform the rest of my council and then also let the local planning agency board know as well. We do have a tentative date in November where we would have the joint meeting. Let me open my iPad so I can tell you exactly what date that's looking like and see if that would work for you all. And we'll send this out too, so there'll be more information. But I want to say it was November 11th, I think. Don't hold me to that. I'll get those for you and send it out and see exactly what date that is. I apologize. I met with them this morning, and I have too many folders on here, and I'm not going to make you wait through me looking for it. But it will be in November, so I'll follow up with that date so that you can see and respond back with any proposed dates that may work better if the date that we have chosen will not work.
What are the topics to be discussed?
Yes, sir. So the topics are going to be about the Lake Placid Regional Plan, so the LPRP. We will also talk about our upcoming comprehensive plan review that we will have with the town and how that aligns with the Highlands County review, and then we'll also talk about our regional utilities. We're going to take our utilities and align them on a map, not exact, but to give you an idea of where everything runs so that you can see as we move development where we already have lines. Part of those conversations and why they're important is because we began having the conversations with the county on inter-service boundary agreements, and it was primarily prefaced because Avon Park and Sebring were building up against each other, so they needed to start having those conversations. The town of Lake Placid was invited to the table, even though there's quite a distance between us and city of Sebring. However, they wanted to bring us in to go ahead and start having some of those conversations. Through that process, we identified many areas in the town of Lake Placid that we have to address for enclaves. So we're going to have to go ahead and look at that. Well, that's going to involve looking at our utilities. We have to look at sanitation. There's a lot of things that are going to go into that. So some of those conversations will be gauged through the group meeting where we'll have everybody together.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then a few updates that Mr. Warner has here is he received quotes for 2 lift stations and 1 manhole rehabilitation at approximate $52,000. He also notes that 2 water service pumps have been ordered to replace unrepairable pumps for water plants. He's expected October for delivery. The wastewater treatment plant construction is on pace for completion in February 2026. Pannoni Engineering is overseeing the project and it's moving forward. He says that we're approximately 57% completed. I think we're a little further along than that, but that was his October report. The Lake Placid Camping Conference 3, or LPC 3, I believe, yes. Water main installed on Lake Drive East. Bulk service agreement, which we all just reviewed right now. The South Plant lift station, the structures have been installed. The pump control panel and the generators have been ordered. Connection at Lake Mirror Drive under the railroad tracks and US 27 is completed. The pressure test is completed and the ARV vaults are installed. Connection at Lake Mirror Drive, Lake Drive East, approved and connection is scheduled. The projects are on schedule. The Main Street in Marquardt, we're waiting on the structures. Main Street, Marquardt structures are installed. Waiting on structures at Main Street. Marquardt structures installed and control panels and generators, and the pumps are received. Sorry, I'm going to bring my glasses next time. And then Pannoni Engineering is performing the technical services during construction on Marquardt Drive and Main Street lift stations and the South Wastewater Treatment Facility, pumping station, and force main installation. The force main installation has started Lake Mirror Drive between US 27 and East Lake Drive.
What's the plan for putting a water main there too?
Say that again?
There's no water there, correct? It's just sewage?
Right.
So how are we going to
That's a
hook all
good
those up?
Mr. Elliott, I'll have to defer that to Mr. Warner.
Okay, all right.
We do have, I don't know if you know Robert Clem, Bobby. Bobby's been with us for a really, really long time. And I say he has threatened he's going to retire and not, and retire and not. Well, he has officially said he is retiring. That is a hard, sad loss for the town of Lake Placid. And he will retire next month. That's a lot of institutional knowledge. That's a lot of just wealth of knowledge. We're very thankful that he has said that he will come back. He has to be away for 7 months the way that it works for SRF. He'll be happy to answer questions. He'll be happy to even return part-time, but he wants to be able to enjoy his grandbabies, and I told him I don't blame him. With grandbaby number 9 on the way for me, I would be wanting to retire too. But so Bobby will be retiring next month, and we're working on a plan to be able to figure out what that's going to look like. So we have Mr. Michael Asbury, who has worked under Bobby, and he is helping to train him right now. We also have some meter reader positions that are still open, and we are performing interviews right now. We have a wastewater operator C that's being changed to a wastewater operator in training. So we're trying to look long range at how we're going to be able to manage running the plants and things of that nature. So those are some on our positions. And then for grant update, FDEP grants are still not being accepted at this time. However, we are in constant contact with many different entities to see how we can write for grants, how we can still apply for some funding. I did meet with Senator Erin Grall's office and talk with her about the advanced wastewater treatment plant, how we had to scale back on that project, how we were looking for additional funding, and she encouraged us to finish the $40 million that we have and then come back with a new plan of how we plan to do this. So it's really come back to us. So we're going to be strategizing and looking at ways that we can do that. Our goal is to decommission of the Tomoka wastewater plant and connect the flows to the new advanced wastewater treatment plant by installing the new lift station and force main down Lake June Road to County Road 17 north to the new plant. A new lift station on Lake June Drive, that's the Simpsonville, at a private wastewater package plant. It would be decommissioned. That would be flows from 150 homes and would be routed to the new force main and connect to the new force main from Tomoka line from the new lift station to the new advanced wastewater treatment plant. And then Southtown install gravity system in 2 phases where the flows would be connected to the Oasis lift station. And then we have the 319 grant for future wastewater connections, and they have been awarded, and we'll continue to apply for those so that we can make sure, and for those residents who can't afford to come off, that we'll be able to have that opportunity for them to apply for the funding.
The Tomoka Heights and the mobile home park that you were talking about, we have the funds to build the lift stations and the...
For the
the line?
mobile, I can't speak to that one, Mr. Comley. I'm looking, my grant lady is here, but I don't think she can answer that. I don't think we can answer that right now, do we? No. I will get that information for you,
Okay.
Mr. Comley.
Okay, now, you didn't say anything about the Tomoka Heights. Same thing there, you got to get back to. Okay.
I apologize. Mr. Warner will be back, but we'll get the information for you, and at the very least, we'll make sure that it goes out to you in email, and then at the next meeting we have it, we'll make that notice here so that the public can hear the response as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I keep saying we just need our utilities heart to get to beating again. It's beating, but we just need it to beat really well. That's all I have.
Is that it? Right. Anything else from the public? Pam, anybody? Okay. Seeing none, make sure y'all check your calendars for the 28th or 27th. 27th, it's a Monday, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Of October.
5:30.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.